We
should
are.
mute
So
that mic.
now look, the mic got to stay on. We getting it in.
No sweat.
About to go crazy. About to get this breakdown in. Let's just go into. Hey baby, Shalom. You need a snack already, huh?
Oh, they can look like they're upset.
Okay, yeah, we looking good on here. Looking good on here. That's cool. I like it. Hey, Shalom, y'all. We're gonna get started in just a second. I'm gonna try to get everybody to funnel in here before we get started teaching. So we got First Maccabees. What I call, Shy? First Maccabees what?
First Maccabees, chapter 4, verse 52.
I appreciate it.
No,
You have no, you ain't gotta read it.
Oh.
You help me out. Chapter 4 and verse 52.
All right, Shalom, Israel. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana, where we teach so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians the truth about the Bible, that they are God's chosen people, the Israelites, and Jesus Christ, Yahweh Shai, in the Hebrew, is coming back to wage war against the planet Earth for their sake, to get them out of their barrio, their reservation, their ghetto, get them out of systematic poverty and racism, to thrust them into leadership and into royalty and regalness.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. This is the holy day known as Hanukkah in the world, or what's it? What is it?
They call it Hanukkah.
Hanukkah. Right. I said it's Hanukkah in the real Hebrew.
Yeah.
It's
Feast of Dedication.
Yeah, the Feast of otherwise known as the Feast of Dedications. We're gonna read what this holy day is about, how men, bravely fought against their oppressors and against the status quo, where men came into their land and forced something that was against God upon them, and they resisted unto death, and they resisted into battle, man.
Damn right. And that's the point. That's why we're here today. This is a day that was created. It's a memorial, right? So now we have 7 high holy days. You got the Sabbath, you got the Feast of Weeks, you got the Passover, all of those different high holy days. This is just a day of commemoration, because we honor our forefathers. We honor the brothers that fought for us in times that, in the time of our calamity. And this specific high holy day, the Feast of Dedication, the word dedication is applied to this feast because we rededicated our temple, because heathens took over our temple.
That's right.
Defiled it, offered swine's flesh on the altars of our temple. And we fought. There were brothers that were strong enough and had enough fight in them to say, I'm not having this. While everybody else was like, damn, I guess we conquered again. These brothers said, no, damn that. We're going to fight. And they fought. And they overcame the Greeks. The Israelites destroyed the Grecians and got their temple back. And we're going to talk about all of that, right? And we'll try to make it, as plain as possible. Let's first read First Maccabees 4 and 52. Go ahead.
And now on the 5 and 20th day of the 9th month, which is called the month of Casulu, in the 140th and 80th year, they rose up betimes in the morning. And 53, and offered sacrifice according to the law upon the new altar.
Upon the what?
Upon the burnt offering.
No. Read it right. Upon the what?
The new altar.
Upon the new altar. See, this is like when you watch a movie and you see the end of the movie, and then they tell you how this happened. There was a new altar because our altar was profane. This is the celebration. This is where the Feast of Dedication comes from, right? And so now these brothers are offering a new offering upon the new altar. Go ahead.
The new altar of the burning offerings, which they had made.
Go ahead.
54. Look at what time and what day the heathen had profaned it.
Profaned it.
Mm-hmm. Even in that was it dedicated with song and citherns, and harps and cymbals.
Symbols.
And this is what this is talking about. It's talking about the fact that our altar was stolen from us. Our temple was stolen from us, and the Grecians came in and conquered us. And they took our temple and did these profane things that the Lord did not accept. And which is why the Lord allowed us to overcome them. Right? Keep going.
55. And all the people fell upon their faces, worshiping and praising for the God of heaven, who had given them great success.
Go ahead. 56. The Lord had given us this good success, right? Go ahead.
56. And so they kept on the dedication of the altar.
Read that again.
Kept the dedication of the altar 8 days, and offered burnt offering with gladness, and the sacrifice of deliverance and praise. This
was the first feast of dedication that we just read. Now we just saw that the Most High was the one that gave us the power to defeat our enemies and get our temple back. We understand that. But now, how did this happen? We got to start from the beginning and understand why this happened, how it happened, and all of that. So now we got to understand something. Give me First Maccabees, stay in the same book. We go to that first chapter. We're going to start from the beginning. All right. There was a time, and this is why the Apocrypha is such an important book, because you won't understand the New Testament if you don't understand the Apocrypha and the book of Maccabees, because your Pharisees and your Sadducees come out of the book of Maccabees.
Right.
Like Jesus Christ celebrated the Feast of Dedication, but why don't you?
Right.
It's in the Apocrypha.
You can't even have this supposed Jewish holiday without these books.
Exactly.
These records right here. So, what do you Christians, it's anti-Semitic to say the Apocrypha is not inspired by God.
That's heavy. Damn.
It's anti-Semitic. When are we going to put the Christian church on that list with the JDL and the ADL? I just wonder, man. I just wonder sometimes.
They want to throw, the Protestant, that's what I was explaining to the young bull earlier. The Protestant Reformation is the reason why you don't have an Apocrypha in your Bible. Those 14 books, book of Maccabees, the book of Tobit, the book of 1st and 2nd Esdras, all of those books were taken out of your Bible because of the Protestant Reformation. The original canon is 80 books, which is the Bible that we read.
Right.
You just follow only 66 books because your Christian pastor told you to, not realizing that your Christian pastor doesn't know a lick of anything at all and doesn't even understand the information that we're going to read today that Jesus Christ, Yahushua Mashiach, kept. So we'll read that. So let's get 1 Maccabees 1 and 1. We'll start at the very beginning of the book of Maccabees. I want y'all to understand something about the book of Maccabees. It's a historical book. We're going to read it. Go ahead.
1 Maccabees chapter 1. And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip.
It happened, wait, slow down. And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip. Does anybody know who Alexander the Great is? Go ahead.
He took over. He conquered Rome and the Persians. The Persians were like the greatest nation on earth.
What's your answer?
Alexander. I learned this in class, but Alexander the Great was like a man who took over after his father, but was like more like a warrior. That's how they described him. He conquered many nations.
Yeah, y'all both right. Y'all, but excellent. Let's give him a hand. Y'all both absolutely right. Y'all are very smart. UPK children.
Keep absolutely studying.
So, what the book of Maccabees just said is that Alexander, son of Philip, the Philip that this is talking about is Philip II. Philip II was the first white man to come out of those caves and start the conquering stuff. He was a Macedonian. See, before Philip II and before Alexander, Caucasians was not conquering nothing. So Philip II come out them caves and he start conquering stuff. You understand? And he pulled other so-called white nations or white people along with him to start conquering stuff. Right. And Alexander the Great, the so-called great Alexander the Greek, was his son. And that's what this is talking about. This is a historical book. I don't know why anybody wouldn't subscribe to this. It's absolute history. So Alexander, the son of Philip the Macedonian, go ahead.
Who came out the land of
Chittim.
And has smitten Darius the king of the Persians and Midas that
And no, the Persian, he had smitten the king of the Persians and the Medes, Darius, right? Which is what he was just talking about. He said that he conquered the Persians. That's what the Bible say, right? Now, like you said, the Persians and the Medes were a mighty nation. They had the Israelites in captivity. Y'all know that? We were under captivity under the Persians and the Medes. The book of Daniel talks a lot about the Persians and the Medes. This white guy, he conquered them. Let's keep going. Go ahead.
that he resigned in his stead.
Wait, be careful with your words. That he what?
Take your time.
That he resigned
Reigned.
in
That's
his
right.
stead, the first over Greece.
The first over Greece. Alexander the Great. If you any historical lesson to teach you that Alexander the Great was the first ruler over Greece.
Right.
So he reigned in his father's stead. Philip II, he created the empire, but Alexander, the so-called great, he reigned in his father's stead and created the state of Greece, or the country of Greece. Right? Keep going.
Verse 2, and made many wars, and won many strongholds, and slew kings of the earth.
Try to exalt your voice just a little bit more. You're doing good. Just be a little louder.
Number 3, and went through the ends of the earth, and took spoils of the nation, and so much that the earth was quiet before him.
This man, Alexander the Great, fought everybody. It wasn't nobody on this planet that he was not willing and ready to fight. He went and fought everybody. Why? Because our oppressor, the Caucasians, they want to conquer the entire earth. That's what even in the book of Isaiah, the 14th chapter, talks about. They would like to be God. That's what they aim to be. They want to be God. They want to rule the entire earth. And that's Alexander the Great was somebody that he was mighty and he was powerful. And he attempted to take over the entire earth. He's going to say something?
No, not yet.
And that's what we have to understand about this particular person going forward in this story, because he's extremely important as to what happened to the Israelites because of him, because of what he was doing. Right? Keep going.
Whereupon he was exalted, and his heart was lifted up.
And his heart was lifted up. Why? Because he was winning everything. So, of course, when you start to win everything, you start to believe that you can't be touched, which is how he felt. Keep going.
Verse 4, he gathered a mighty strong host, and ruled over countries and nations and kings.
A little louder, your shot.
Who became
Tributaries.
Unto him.
What's a tributary? Can anybody tell me what a tributary is? What's that?
Somebody that technically just pitches in to help the person.
I can't say you're wrong. That's true.
That's right.
What a tributary is somebody that has to pay taxes to you.
That's right.
So when you pay taxes to somebody, you're right. You are helping them. You are contributing to what they're doing. And Alexander the Great, he had a lot of tribute. All of the surrounding nations, and we'll even find out even Egypt, right, which was a mighty empire one time, were paying tributaries to him. Taxes.
Right. Think of it like this: the 50 states in America, right? You might not know that there are territories that America owns, and everything that they make, they pay in taxes to America. They pay a tax to America, like Puerto Rico, Guam, and certain islands all scattered around the earth. You know what I'm saying? But they're not considered states. They're not considered actually a part of this country, but they are tributaries. They pay a tax and they are subservient unto this empire. Go ahead.
Right. That's exactly what it is, and that's how you can understand the influence. Y'all understand the American influence, right? Well, just understand that that's the influence that Alexander had. He had all the influence. He was what's considered a superpower, right? Give me verse 5.
Verse 5. And after these things he fell sick and perceived that he should die.
Uh-huh.
Said AIDS.
Verse 6. Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable, and had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted the kingdom among them, while he wasn't yet alive.
While he was yet alive. Right? So now he fell sick. Alexander fell sick. He became, people get old. He might have had that AIDS. I don't know what he had. But
This a little Barakia theory.
that's a Barakia theory. That's all right.
A little
But look-
Barakia theory. I heard he got into a whole lot of lascivious conduct
Yeah.
that Alexander the Greek, and when in Rome,
Damn.
you might catch something.
Mm.
That's something for all you brothers and sisters who want to go to Italy so bad,
Right.
or Greece. Go ahead.
That's tough. So, that's funny.
That's what I always thought that.
I understand.
It makes sense to me.
It does make
It's A
sense.
plus B to
Yeah,
me.
it's A plus B.
You got C.
And,
You see what happened. You seen
So
it.
look. So Alexander the Great fell sick, old age, AIDS, whatever the hell, right? And we know Alexander didn't actually live that long, so it wasn't old age. So he might be right. So anyway, he fell sick. He knew he was about to die. He had some sort of terminal illness that he knew he was about to die. So what he did, what we just read, is he gathered amongst all of the people that he grew up with, and then that he reigned with, right? That he ruled with, the people that he thought he could trust. And he gathered all those people together, and he started to divide his his ownership of these lands amongst these different people.
Mostly his 4 generals.
Right. And we're going to read about them in just a second. Right. But though, yes, you're correct. Those 4 generals, right? We're going to read about them in just a second. Keep reading.
Verse 7. So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died. Verse 8. And his servants bare rule every one of his place.
Everyone in his place. Go ahead.
Verse 9. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves.
Now, did y'all hear that? Y'all hear what's being said? After his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. I thought Alexander was the one that was putting crowns on these white men, but they decided after he died, I'm gonna take my own land. I'm gonna be the king, and I'm gonna be the king over what I want to be the king over, right? And we'll find that out. Keep going.
So did their sons after them many years,
Mm-hmm.
and their evils were multiplied in the earth.
And evils were multiplied in the earth. Why? Because not only was it already evil what Alexander was doing, but now you got this chaos, and you got these 4 to 5 generals that are going and conquering things willy-nilly, however the hell they feel about it. And it's part of the reason why the world works the way it is now. Alexander the Great and his, I don't want to call it offspring, but what he started, right?
Technically offspring.
Right.
It was just 1 problem, now it's 4.
Exactly.
And then after that, it was 12. And
Right.
It just kept going.
Exactly. And so that's part of the reason why the world is so jammed up now. So now there was 5 generals in total, but really it's 4 prominent ones. But the 5 generals that were put in his stead were Ptolemy, Seleucus, Cassander, Antigonus, and Lysimachus. Lysimachus is the one that you don't really hear about too much because his reign lasted for like 10 years. But those are the generals that Alexander put in place. All right. Now that Ptolemaic Empire controlled Egypt.
Right.
Went on to control Egypt, but maintained Greek culture. And that's why now the Egyptians that are in Egypt are not actually Egyptians.
Right.
Because they're really, if you want to be real about it,
The white Arabs.
they're white Arabs.
They're white Arabs.
That's the original Egyptians was black. They was like really dark skinned. You go on the walls and you see all of that. But now you see these like white Arab looking people.
Yeah, Ptolemy, he started Alexandria. He named his capital Alexandria.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah, so I don't know to tell you. Yeah, it's an African country. It's not named the city, not named Mbutu or whatever. you know, that's not racist. Help me out here, brother. You know a lot about
I
African
can't
culture.
click. No, I
You
can't.
gotta-
I can't click.
The point is,
I don't know how to speak
the
click.
point is, it's not the city of Mandela or his effect.
God damn, that's crazy.
It's named after a Greek man, and that should show you how their power, how significant their power was in that area. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So that's just a little tidbit that I like to add within this lesson to understand what was happening at this time, right? These events that we're reading about changed everything. Now we're gonna move on to King Antiochus. All right, we're gonna read about that. So now you're gonna skip down to First Maccabees 1:41. Just get down to the 41st verse. We're gonna understand something about King Antiochus, which is the one that put into place the deliberate what's the word that I should use? The deliberate destruction of the Jews in their own land. All right. So let's get that. First Maccabees 1:41.
First Maccabees, verse 41. Moreover, King
Antiochus.
Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people.
Now he wrote to his whole kingdom. What kingdom did King Antiochus hold? Well, he was somebody that held on to the Seleucid Empire, which covers that whole section with like all the Greeks and the Romans. That's the Seleucid Empire, right? Remember we talked about Seleucus being one of the four head generals.
Yeah,
Right. So he held on to that specific empire. He became one of the leaders, and he's the one that said, "Hey, everybody gotta be one people. We all gotta be one people." Right? Keep going.
Verse 42. And everyone should leave his law.
And speak up. I need you to get louder.
And everyone should leave his law.
And everyone should leave his laws. Right? Go ahead.
So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king.
Read on.
Verse 43. Yea, many also of the Israelites.
Of who?
Of the Israelites.
Many also of the Israelites. Go ahead.
Consented to his religion.
Consented to his religion. What was his religion? All should be one. We all gotta be one.
Hey, you know what's heavy? You know what the Bible did not call this? It did not call this a new law being passed.
Right.
It called it a religion.
Right.
This is a cult
That's heavy.
that just got started. The ruler, the governor of the land over all these lands, over all these countries and regions and cities and villages passed a law that made everyone serve the same God.
Right.
And that's exactly what goes on here in America. No matter how much they say you have a freedom of religion, well then why the hell am I in a hate? Why the hell do they say we're in a hate group?
Right.
Because I don't say, it's not me who says, the oppressor is the devil the Bible speaks of. The Bible says that.
Right.
It's not me that says, what is another big one? That all the other nations will bow down to God's chosen people. That's not me. That's the Bible, and Jewish people believe the same thing. So obviously there is no freedom of religion in this country. You all have to worship the same God, and if you don't, you're labeled an outcast and a rebel. And that's what's being done right here in this verse. It's what the Bible describes as worshiping another God, creating a new religion. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like it.
No, absolutely. And that's the truth about this. That's what we teach about this verse, because that's what this verse teaches. It tells you how you control and dominate a nation of people. You tell them it's law that you leave your religion and follow this.
Right.
And that's what we've been made in America to do. We've been made in America. You can't be a so-called Black Hebrew Israelite. Why? Because they're going to call you a hate group. We're going to be on the Southern Poverty Law Center website as the #1 extremist organization, like we've done anything to harm anybody ever. But you can't be this. What you can be is Christian. You can be, listen, now I'm not going to say anything that goes against any guidelines of YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, or anything, but They'll still take this video down if I say this, and I'm gonna do it anyway. The so-called Jewish man has a law that says that when you circumcise a child on his 8th day, you have to put, there has to be a moil that puts his mouth on that child's genitalia to suck the blood off of it. And they don't call that a hate group. They don't call it like a cult. They don't call it like weird or out of the ordinary. It's just like, well, that's what they do. And come on.
The reason why they do that is because they all worship. Jewish people and Christians worship the same God, and that God is white. Mm-hmm. That God is white. The problem with the ISUPK under commanding General Yohana, our God is black.
That's right.
Our God is black according to the Bible. Black is my shoes. Mm-hmm. It's from what I hear.
Damn right.
From what I hear. Now, that's the real problem. Those Jewish people have, and Christians and Catholics, let's not exclude them. Right. They're able to do whatever they like. You know, they're able to do whatever they like with the kids, with the money, with the other countries they control. If you're Catholic or Jewish or Christian, they're able to do whatever they like. And you know what? Nobody calls them a hate group. Nobody charges them with international crime syndicate crimes. Right. Nobody puts them on a list at all. And that's white supremacy, and that's a religion. That's a religion that both they practice and this entire country and planet practice at the moment. But until Black Jesus Christ come back, until he comes back and he changes the whole thing on its head. Right. So like another small point. I was at the job, you know, me just being very, very ignorant of where I am. You know, I had the audacity to go into my job wearing dawadas, and white people are asking me, "Oh, what are you? What are you? This and that." I don't care to answer because they're Caucasian. But you know, they're like, "Oh, you're Jewish? You know, Hanukkah's coming up. Hanukkah." I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's nice. What you gonna eat, the matzo balls?" I'm like, "Hey yo, it's crazy." You know, and the dude, they're trying to chop it up with me and relate with me, and I'm just like, I'm just basically like, yeah, you know, I'm not really about what you think, you know, but it is what it is. And but I attempted to find some common ground. I was like, yeah, man, you know, life is like, it is what it is, this and that, you know. I was like, I can't even remember what Christianity is like. I was like, are you Christian? He was like, because they're like, you Jewish? I'm like, yeah, you could say that. He's like, I was like, are you Christian? He's like, no, man, you know, I'm like, no, I'm not like that, you know, but I am, you know, I do believe in a higher power. I was raised Christian.
He's not religious, he's spiritual.
Yeah, I was raised.
That's what it is.
I was raised Christian, and you know, things like that. I was like, oh, that's all well and good. He was like, yeah, but you know, I believe in a higher power. I'm like, yeah, well, I do too. And in my mind, I know that he thinks me and him have found common ground because he thinks my God is white. But I know that me and him have a universe apart because we worship two different things. And that's why this world is against us. So like.
No, damn right. Hey, look, Antiochus' surname, or what you would call like a last name, was Epiphanes, which means God manifest.
Jesus. Like
if you go into Isaiah the 14th chapter, it tells you that these people want to be God. They said they will ascend. What most people consider like Lucifer to be like Satan or whatever. Lucifer is actually the title of a man, a king over a city.
Right.
And it describes him as wanting to ascend up into the heights of heaven, and I will be like the Most High. Who does that describe other than a man that names himself Epiphanes, which is Antiochus Epiphanes, which means God manifest? Come on, man, you got to know what you're talking about. This is the type of people that you're dealing with, and then he gonna go and tell you that you can't serve your Israelite God. Oh, that Israel God, you can't do that. It's what this brother just broke down. You can only serve the God that I allow you to serve.
Right.
And that, you know, that's the spirit of this devil here and the devils that run our society now. So now, let's keep reading, right? Read verse 43 again.
First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 43.
43. Mm-hmm.
Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath.
They profaned the Sabbath. Why? Because they consented unto the king's religion. Keep going.
Verse 44. For the king, he has sent letters by messengers under Jerusalem and of the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land.
That they should follow what?
The strange laws of the land.
The strange laws of the land. We should follow the strange laws of the land. What do Christians tell you? You got to follow the laws of the land. Don't they tell you that? Because of that New Testament scripture that says you gotta the law, or excuse me, the what is it?
Ordinance.
Yeah, the ordinance is the magistrate, something like that, right?
Right.
It's something in one of Paul's letters, and they think that means that you should follow the laws of the land.
Goofy.
They don't know what that's talking about.
That's why the IUIC says Trayvon Martin should have done.
Right. That's why they say you should have one wife. Well, you can't get more than one marriage license. Get the hell out of here. What are you talking about? Like the Lord determines what I can do and what I can't do. You gonna allow this white man, this oppressor, to tell us what we can and can't do?
Honestly, they don't give it. That's really an excuse, Doc.
Right.
Because you can have as many
boyfriends and girlfriends that you want.
Exactly. Partners or whatever your fancy is you would like.
Mm-hmm.
The whole you need to have the marriage contract. It's just a way of. It was in its inception. It's just so they can track you. And the reason the IUIC wants you to do that is because their God is white.
Right.
Their God is a white man, and Nathaniel worships that white man, and then everybody underneath him worships him.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like that.
Yeah, that's the point, man. And this is something that shows you that this is the spirit of our oppressor. This is 2,300 years ago. Y'all understand that? This is like 200 BC that this was happening. So this is like 2,300 years ago. So the white man is the same yesterday, today, and forever. All right, y'all gotta understand that. That's what he is, because he'll never change. He'll never be anything more than a devil. That's what it is. Right. I'm not saying that. The Bible's saying that.
Right.
So you can't get mad at us for trying to follow our religion, then speak out against y'all for telling us that we can't follow our religion or our faith or spirituality, whatever the hell you want to call it.
Right.
And then calling y'all devils for it. Like, you can't get mad at us for that, because it's proven in the Bible. Yeah. And even in this book of First Maccabees, it talks about the fact that evil was multiplied in those days because they were doing this, because they were stopping us from keeping our traditions. We were stopped from holding our Sabbath services. So now what do they do here today? Oh, the Sabbath is on the seventh day. On the Sunday. Y'all celebrating the Sabbath on the seventh day, y'all are a cult. Even though the Seventh-day Adventists, they don't get called a cult. They get to do whatever they want. But we get called a cult because we want to keep the laws of God. Right. I got to make it make sense. Go ahead.
No, and what he's saying is true. This is over 2,300 years of evidence. This goes to all you brothers and sisters who believe you can march, vote, protest, and get your oppressor to change. You think you can lay in his bed long enough or her bed long enough to get their family to look at your entire people different? Right. And this is 2,000 years of consistency. Yeah. Just consistently hating your people, abusing your people, destroying your culture, man. And now they've gotten it. They're getting better. The KD getting better. Right. The KD getting better. The accuracy getting better. They destroying the culture better. We don't even know who we are. Right. You know what that means? Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's beyond destroy. It's almost like it's like taking my entire history out of the universe, right, and I just started all over again. That's how good they got. Go ahead.
I could give an example of how good they've gotten at destroying us, even taking our culture. So we know that all the music genres that America enjoys came from us. You know what I'm saying? Country, rock,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Jazz, all that. But we see now, you know, you pay close attention to that. They're slowly trying to with rap right now, hip hop, by you know, all these black artists, the rappers trying to, you know, make you seem like you wrong if you don't count Eminem as the best rapper out there.
That's crazy. And Eminem ain't. Hey, listen, y'all.
Brother.
Listen, come on, y'all can't do this with me with Eminem. Eminem is a terrible rapper. He's.
I thought you said the opposite.
Nah.
Okay.
See?
Wow.
But nah, that's the
No
point.
racial. I kind of fuck with him, but he ain't that good.
Marshall Mathers is
Here
not
you
a
go.
rapper.
Yeah.
Marshall Mathers is in musical blackface.
Damn.
And he is not even.
What you call that?
Musical blackface.
Musical blackface.
I
is
like that.
The best thing to describe Eminem. I like it. Go ahead. Huh?
He gets paid by black people to be in musical blackface, and he gets paid by black people to be coons and promote him.
Dang.
50 Cent and the rest of them.
Yeah, they all say he the best rapper. That's crazy.
They
The
do
best
say that.
rapper.
50 got better bars than Eminem.
Lil Wayne even say, "I'm not up there."
Yeah, over Gucci, like
Over Gucci.
Look, man,
Shout out
Gucci.
Gucci.
Hey, man, look.
That's crazy.
But see, let's reel it back in and let's understand something about why this is a thing in the first place. It goes back to them, you know, bringing themselves up as gods, and then to tell you that you can't think a certain way, so now you have to think this way. That's what Alexander did. Alexander was like, "Hey, y'all," and listen, I don't blame him. It's in his nature. He's a devil. So, and he's smart. He's telling you, "Hey, don't think this way. Think another way. Think my way. That's the only way I'm gonna get my kingdom to thrive." Because guess what happens? If you don't tell everybody in your kingdom to think the same way, division starts.
Right.
And that's what's happening with America. I hope y'all seeing that. Now you got the conservatives and the liberals, and they starting to think a different way. Now you got people that, you know, think Trump should have won, people that are thinking that Joe Biden is like God. And so you start to see that like the kingdom starts to fall apart with things like that. And we even see that if you go back and look at the history with Alexander and with you know, his what's the word that I'm looking for? The people that come after him, what do you call that? No, the predecessors, I think. I don't know. But anyway, the people that come after him, right? Go ahead, you had something?
Doing what you're saying, how they just divide, right? In America, they had the Revolutionary War, where they all thought the same.
Mm-hmm.
How the British and America were like they were one, but then as soon as they had different ideas, America went out. So
Right.
so it's like happening the same way.
That's the truth, and then from there, that's what stems and grows into what's called the Civil War, because it's divide. And it almost, if you go and look at that information, you start to realize that, damn, America almost was not a country after that. It was crazy. Go ahead, you had something?
You talking about the Civil War or the Revolution?
The Revolutionary War is what stemmed into
Yeah.
the Civil War, but all of it together, both of those wars was like the brink of everything collapsing.
Right.
And so that's what Alexander was like, no, can't have none of that. So I'm going to make sure that everybody they got one. Ain't no Muslims, ain't no Catholics, ain't no Protestants, ain't no Christians, ain't no Hebrew Israel. Nope.
Yeah, Antiochus.
I believe what Antiochus says is law. And that's what he did. And he did a damn good job. He really did. Go into history and you find out that he did that. You got something up? You was going to say something?
Yeah, because I was reading on Microsoft. There was like a whole fight between some people about who should have won the vote.
Mm-hmm.
Where it almost got crazy.
Oh, you talking about with Donald Trump and Joe Biden?
January
That's one of the big things that has America divided right now. There's people that would kill and die for Donald Trump, and then there's people that, for whatever reason, would kill and die for Joe Biden. And you know, because he facilitates the LGBTQ movement, the get rid of the guns, all of that. And then you got Donald Trump that's like, hey, nah, keep the guns, get rid of the gays, go to war, all of that. So you got like, it's a split in America. So Antiochus, so now we're going to reel it back in. Antiochus ain't won none of that. He like, no. Because guess what? the people that support Donald Trump, now they're going against America. They like, wait a minute. America tried to lock up Donald Trump. He got a mugshot, and he's being prosecuted for fraud. Nah, I don't go. That's why they stormed the Capitol, right? The reason why is because they understand that America is against Trump. So now they're falling off of being the American bandwagon.
You sound like a conspiracy theorist, brother. You're trying to divide this country.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with you right-wing correspondents.
Conservative. See, and that's the point. And so Antiochus is like, damn that, I don't want to do that, right? So now keep going.
First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 45.
Mm-hmm.
And forbidding burnt offerings and sacrifices, and drink offerings in the temple.
Now in the temple, why is it saying in the temple? Where was this? Where did this happen? Where did Antiochus do this at? He in Jerusalem, where the temple is. He came to where we worship our God, where we have, it's our city. It's Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans running this city. We have our temple and our altar where we serve our God. They came and invaded. That's why this whole thing, you have to understand it, right? He tell us, nah, y'all can't, this temple will separate you. Why did God tell us that we can't follow the ways of the heathen? Because it'll separate us from God. Guess what Antiochus understood? He understood what God said, so he said, hey, y'all gotta leave God and follow me. That way, God will separate from you. And that's what he did. And so he told us, nah, y'all can't go in your temple no more. Nope. I'm taking the temple from you. Keep going.
And that they should profane the Sabbath, and festival days, right? So now you got to not ever celebrate the Passover, not ever celebrate the Feast of Unleavened Bread, not ever celebrate the Feast of Weeks, not ever celebrate anything. Don't keep the Sabbath, work on the Sabbath, profane the Sabbath, do whatever you want on the Sabbath. Why? To separate you from your God, right? Keep going. Verse 46, and pollute the sanctuary and the holy people. Verse 47, set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine flesh and unclean beasts.
And instead of sacrificing, when we sacrifice things on the idol, when we was doing animal sacrifice, we would sacrifice oxen, clean animal. We'd only sacrifice clean animals, turtle doves, things like that. Those are clean animals that the Lord allowed you to eat and to sacrifice. But then they said, if you're gonna sacrifice anything at all, you're gonna sacrifice a pig, nigga. I'm gonna take. Listen, you know pigs are unlawful. I'm gonna give you this pig to sacrifice on that idol. On that altar.
Right. And you know what that does? It shows that he did his research on who he knew he had to integrate and how.
That's heavy.
He said, what don't they want to do? Well, they don't eat pork. They don't celebrate they don't do everything that all these other people do. And he said to himself, these people are the most hardcore of them all. They're not willing. The scripture said earlier that all the heathen agreed, except us. We weren't going for that. And so he had to come personally to the land of Jerusalem, to the land of Israel, and try to break us into subjugation, into servitude, man. You know what I mean? And that's what this is. So like,
yeah. So now let's move on, right? So now that's the background. Y'all understand now? Philip II was the first white man to come out them caves and start conquering. His son Alexander the Greek, or Alexander the Great, whatever you want to call him, he goes and he establishes this empire, right? Conquering everybody, right? And then the four main generals come out and they start running all, willy-nilly and conquering things the way they want to conquer. And then we have, out of the Seleucid Empire, we have Antiochus, who comes and conquers the Israelites. All right. So now let's get First Maccabees, the second chapter, and we're going to start at the first verse, and we'll try to get through this and make sure that everybody comes out with a good understanding of this. So that's what's happening. They came into our land, right, and conquered us and told us, hey, y'all cannot worship Yahweh anymore. You got to worship Caesar Borgia. I'm using that as an example. I'm not saying that's not what they literally were saying, but they saying don't worship Yahweh, worship the white man. That's what they're saying, right? And also, not only that, but you have to now profane your God by sinning against him. You have to profane the Sabbath. You have to sacrifice swine's flesh on the altar, right? So now, how y'all feel about that? Like, how does that make y'all feel?
I feel disrespected, other one.
Go ahead.
Salaki, sir. I feel as though
Speak up for the camera, but go ahead.
I feel as though they did that specifically to separate us from our power, our God, so that they could further destroy us.
Yeah, they did. How that make you feel?
No, extremely angry. Not only that, but that's just history repeating. So that's like what they did to us here in America.
So does that make you feel angry, like pissed off, like you want to do something about that?
God, right.
Yeah, let's read about a nigga that felt like you. Let's get First Maccabees 2:1.
First Maccabees chapter 2. In those days arose
Mattathias,
the son of John, the son of Simon, a priest of the son of Jorib, from Jerusalem, and dwelt in Modin.
So this is just giving you the background on this particular brother, because he's going to play an important role in the story we're about to read about. Read verse 6.
Verse 6. And when he saw the
blasphemies
that were committed in Judah and Jerusalem. Verse 7. He said, Woe is me.
Woe is me.
Woe is me. Wherefore I was born to see this.
Gotta slow down. Wherefore was I born? Go ahead.
Wherefore I was born.
Wherefore was I born?
Wherefore was I born to see this misery of my people and of the holy city, and to dwell there, when it was delivered into the hand of the enemy, and the sanctuary into the hand of a stranger.
So now this brother, Mattathias, he's looking at everything that we just read. He saw happen personally, like he saw it with his own eyes, and he saw more than what was scribed down on this paper. Like he saw what was happening. He saw his land become conquered. He saw people sacrificing pig on the goddamn altar, man. You know how pissed off that would make a real priest? This man was a priest. You know how pissed off that would make a priest? Well, the way that you was just describing how you felt makes you angry and makes you pissed off. That's how he was feeling. And he feeling like, hey, I got to do something about this because it's my office. I'm a priest. The Lord has ordained me to be a priest and somebody that's over my people to make sure and take care of them, right? That's what a priest's job is. A priest's job is to have the care over their people, right? And to, be a mediator for them. And he's seeing all of this happen, and he like, damn, woe is me. He said, destruction is me, meaning it'd be better that I was dead than to be alive and to see this. This is worse than death. That's what he's saying. Yeah. Me seeing the way that these people are treating my people and my holy sanctuary, it'd be better for me to be dead. Go ahead, Slaki, you was gonna say something?
Nah, read that again.
Verse 7. He said, Woe is me. Wherefore I was born to see this misery of my people.
Look,
and of the holy city.
Wherefore was I born? Why was I born to see all these terrible things going on around me? This brother is in pain, like Officer Parak just said. He's like, this it's hurting his heart. He'd rather be dead than see the suffering of his people, his land, and his culture be disrespected and taken advantage of in such a way, man. Keep reading.
And dwell there when it was delivered into the hand of the enemy.
And why do I have to live here? I have to live and suffer and see these people take everything that God gave us. Right. Take it all. And now he's wondering, why do I have to be born? What so many brothers and sisters have to wonder living in America today. Why me?
Right.
Why do we have to suffer this? Why do me and my little brothers and sisters have to starve? Why do me and my sister have to go through this suffering? Why do me and my mother and my brother and my father and all these things happen to us? Why do we have to go get killed in the street? Why do we have to suffer, man? Why do I have to see it? Read.
And the sanctuary into the hand of strangers.
And my God taken from me. I can't even worship my God. I can't even pray to my God in front of this devil without being convicted of a crime. That's what they suffered back then. And we will have to suffer it today. We're going to have to do our own battle today. Go ahead, priest.
So that's just like, back in the day, they had the laughing barrel.
Right.
You couldn't even laugh in front of
An oppressor. You can't even laugh. It was you could die if you laughed back in the day if you were black or Hispanic. So like you, sir. You couldn't surrender.
Yeah, so what happened was the Native Americans they would have a white flag and an American flag to say, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so we're not fighting.
Yeah, we're not fighting, and they ended up slaughtering them
anyway.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like,
Damn, that's crazy.
yeah, you can't even like, you can't have any mercy. Like,
That's right.
You can't get no mercy from these guys.
That's right. That's a damn right. That's a fact. It doesn't matter if the moment you showed weakness and show weakness to this oppressor, they're going to rub smallpox on a blanket and give it to you and pretend that you're a friend and watch you die, because this is their mind, this is their thought process, this is their pattern. Salakia, sir. Did you want to say?
Another video that just popped up on Instagram a while back was about a brother. It was raining and a white devil, right, had pulled him, basically arrested him for him just changing his tire, and he wasn't doing anything, and he was just, so then the devil puts the brother on the car, on the police car, and then tasers the brother, and then tells him, you know what I'm saying, quit your, you know, you know what I'm saying, crying, you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like,
yeah.
So she was just basically degrading the brother,
right?
And the brother was literally crying. I mean, you gotta understand, rain plus metal plus the taser.
Yeah, it intensifies the shock.
Exactly.
It helps the electricity flow through your body much easier, even into your brain. And that is the people that you live under, and today we have to suffer under, man. We have to suffer and endure this. And then we see an oppressor, and they know the same thing we know. They know that we're oppressed. They know that we live underneath them culturally, systematically, and they feel no true compassion towards us, no true sorrow for us. And if the moment they are upset with us, in a video game they'll call you a nigger, or in public they'll call you a nigger and call the police on you to attempt to get you murdered. This is what we have to suffer, this degradation, where we don't even love ourselves anymore. We don't see ourselves as one people anymore, unless we're being outright all attacked, and barely even then. And it'll have you think to yourself, why must we suffer this, man? Why must we suffer this? Keep reading.
Verse 8. Her temple is become as a man without glory. Verse 9. Her glorious vessels are carried away into captivity. Her infants are slain in the streets. Her young men with the sword of the enemy.
All right.
Verse 10.
Slow down. Read a little louder too. This is describing how the babies are killed and the young men are killed for trying to resist, or whatever you want to say, just trying to stand up for themselves, stand up for what their father's culture was, what their father taught them. You know what the law says? The law says if if a heathen tries to bring another god to you, you fight against that. That's in the Bible, man. You're not supposed to just accept, oh damn, they passed the law. They said I gotta eat pork now. You follow the ordinances. Oh no, they passed the law. They said I can only have one wife now. I gotta convict all my brothers if they have more than one. You're a cur. You're a coward.
Right.
Man.
Right.
You're a coward. You're a stepping fetcher. You're a lackey. You're a lapdog. And we're not dogs in here. We're wolves. We're men. We stand up for ourselves. We stand up for our brothers. We stand up for our fathers. We stand up for our God. And then that's really all there is to it, man. You don't. And if you would rather play friends with an enemy so that you can find a little bit of softness in your life, then we are not of the same ilk. We're not brothers at all. So like you, priest.
And that goes back to the point. That goes back to the point, right? Y'all gotta understand, like Ezekiel 9:4 tells us that the Lord set a mark upon them that sigh and cry. For that's whatever. Yep, I'll take it. Set a mark upon them that sigh and cry for the abominations that are done against the Israelites.
Right.
Like you have to love your brothers and sisters so much that you do what we talking about.
Yeah.
You got to do what we talk, like the way we talk. You got to talk the same way. You got to feel the same way. We're not up here to look. We all got to work tomorrow.
Mhm.
We all could be asleep,
Mhm.
but we're here sighing and crying about the destructive behavior that you people have put against my people. That I'm like, I don't care about what time I go to bed. You understand? Because I care more about the destruction that has been put and set against my people. And that's what Mattathias, like we follow what we teach in the ISUPK is that we should follow after the examples of our forefathers. Mattathias is our forefather from the tribe of Levi. Right. And we follow that. He's saying, hey, I'd rather be dead than to experience and see my people going through this terrible thing. But what did he do? Did he kill himself?
No.
No, hell no. Now you got to give me my favorite part of this story. Because he didn't kill himself. He didn't say, I'd rather be dead and just shoot himself in the head. He didn't do that. You know what he did? He did something about it. All right, now. Give me First Maccabees 2. And let's see. We got to do it at 17. Give me First Maccabees 2 and 17. Let's read that loud and strong.
First Maccabees chapter 2, verse 17. Then answered the king's officers and said to Mattathias on this wise, thou art a ruler and a honorable and a great man in the city, and breaking with sons and brethren.
So what they do, the people, this is Antiochus's officers, people that are working for Antiochus, and they saying to Mattathias, hey, you well respected among all these Israelites. You like, they buttering them up. They like, yeah, man, you know, you really respected. People like you, man. Keep going.
Verse 18. Now, therefore, come thou first and fulfill the king's commandment.
Now, because of that, come first and fulfill the king's, you said commandment, right?
Right.
Fill the king's commandment, meaning leave your God and come and serve Antiochus.
You should be the first one to do it.
You should be the first one. Why?
You got
Because
clout.
everybody's gonna follow you.
Right.
You understand? That's how these devils work, yo. They work like that. They say, hey, you are the one that has, like you said, like the most clout. I'm gonna get you to start this trend. And now this trend back then it wasn't, you know, the whole sexy red booty shaking thing at the time. It was follow another God. It was very like straight to the point, like follow another God. And they knew who to go to. They're like, go to this man because everybody gonna do what he do because he's a wise man that everybody goes to for advice. He's a famous man in Israel. He's a priest. If he does it, everybody gonna follow suit, and they knew that, and that's how these devils work. You had something, Mark?
Somewhat, if I could.
Mm-hmm.
The straightforward thing that they do today, they do this with government too, is whenever they have a meeting and they discuss what law they're about to pass, they say, whatever we do, they always have this one phrase, we have to do it together. They're not talking to anyone except two. They're talking across the aisle to the two parties that are of the one bird, that they cooperate. Now, we know that in UPK, and then they're talking to us. Because Israel being born a slave, hearing we have to do it together means we're not leaving you out. The free man hears, no matter what happens, you're not getting away. There's the straightforward for this kingdom. It's like,
Yeah, no, and that's very similar. That's very similar. But the thing is, it's almost like this is like saying, this is like putting it on your TD Jakes. You put on your TD Jakes, which did happen. This is what happened with TD Jakes. He got put into this Christian box and this Christian doctrine, and now he has I think on last time I checked, this was last year around December, he had I think it was 400 million members that were like a part of his church. And the reason he is allowed to have that many members is because he has followed the doctrine of his oppressor, which is everybody can be saved. The law is done away with, which is what? Profane the Sabbath now. Profane your holy days. We ain't got to keep the Passover. Profane the dietary law. Now you got to profane the law. Now you can eat pork. He followed his oppressor's customs, and he was the one to do it. Why? Because he had the most poor.
Right.
And that's what they tried to do with Mattathias. The problem is Mattathias was a real nigga, man. Mattathias wasn't no punk. Mattathias was a brother in the UPK. He was a brother that said, no, and we're going to find out about it. We're going to find out how real he was in just a second. Go ahead, now. You had something?
Yeah, if I could just real quick, going on what the suppressors do by using one of our people to push something, you know what I'm saying? See with the whole LGBT agenda, but more than that, you see with Florida passing the laws so that way, you know, you can't talk about slavery in school. It was either a brother or sister in law that helped pass that through.
Yeah.
Wow. It was it was a couple of sisters and I think a black man as well. And that is not in the spirit of Mattathias.
Right.
That is in the spirit of your oppressor, man. What we're going to realize very soon is there is no amount of shucking or jiving or tap dancing that is going to get us out of oppression. Like, yeah, imagine begging a racist judge. You're over there. Honestly, don't do no crimes if you're not ready to go to jail. Don't. And then when you get before that judge, that racist judge who used to throw sundaes and ice cream at black girls' faces as schools were integrating, who was a child or maybe a young man as a black man was being hoisted up on a tree and burned alive. You're gonna beg him for mercy as a black man? You think he gives a damn? You think he gives a damn? There's no amount of Candace Owening you can do to have these oppressors like you, man. So like it's on you.
Yeah, let's keep going real quick. So read verse 18 from the top. So First Maccabees 2:18. Let's get through this verse and understand this thing.
First Maccabees chapter 2, verse 18. Now therefore come thou first and fulfill the king's commandment, like as all the heathen have done.
Follow the heathen. That's what he's saying. He say these officers of the king Antiochus, they're saying, hey, the rest of the heathen did it. Hey man, you come do it too. And then all your people all the Israelites gonna follow you. Keep going.
Yeah. And the men of Judah also. And such of remain at Jerusalem.
And he's also telling them that some of your people did it too. Some of your people did it too. Like you
Damn.
should do it. Like
That's crazy.
Like he tell, like they tell it. That's the guys. That, you know what that reminds me of?
Your homie snitch. He already told on you.
That's true too. But you know what that remind me of? That remind me of the serpent in the garden. The serpent in the garden used these same tactics. It's divide and conquer. That's all it is. It's I know you say you follow God and you should believe with God, but I'm just saying there's another way to look at it. Nah, bro, you can't do that to me. Mattathias was like, you can't do that. We're gonna find that out in just a second. We're gonna read it. You can't do that to me. Don't tell me. I don't give a damn if listen, I don't care who did what. I'm gonna do the thing that I know is right. I don't give a damn if my mother or my father or my brother, my sister, my daughter, my son. I don't care who it is. If they did something wrong, they did something wrong. That don't mean I should do it. Can't no white man come to me and be like, hey, they did it. You got to do it. Nah, I'm not doing that. And that's how you got to think. And that's how Matthias is thinking, right? Let's keep reading.
Verse 18. So shalt thou and thy house be in the number of the king's friends.
Yeah, we're going to make you top. We're going to make you up there with Joseph. Like how Joseph was in Pharaoh's house, we're going to make you like vice president.
We're going to invite you to the White House.
Yeah, you're going to be in the White House. You're going to ride in a limo, all of that. Keep going.
Imagine selling your people out for a party invitation.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about that.
You're a whole nut.
I don't know. Go ahead.
It's like that's like that would be like somebody from the UPK taking a dinner with Jay-Z instead of the $500,000.
I'm taking the $500,000.
I'm taking that,
and I'm putting them tithes in the account, putting it, So, but that's the point, right? So now let's keep going, right? So give me. It's like you gonna say.
No, he right. I was saying he right.
Yeah, damn right.
He's exactly right.
Give me verse 19.
Verse 19.
So but I'm skipping a little bit, but all they saying right now is, hey man, I'm gonna put you in the king's court. You're gonna have all of the gold. You're gonna have access to all of this. I'm gonna give you money, all of this. Just serve Antiochus and not Yahweh, right? Verse 19. Go ahead.
Verse 19. Then Matthias answered and spake with a loud voice.
He spake with a loud voice and he said this. Go ahead. You speak with a loud voice too. Go ahead.
Though all the nations that are under the king's dominion obey him and fall away everyone from the religion of their fathers and give consent to his commandments.
Go ahead.
Verse 20. And yet will I and my sons and my brethren walk in the
covenant
of our fathers.
He said, I don't give a damn. He said, look, I understand. Everybody is following Antiochus because he is under the Alexandrian reign. He's the one he's like the ruler of that known world there. Everybody's following Antiochus. So he's saying, yeah, even though all of these people are following Antiochus, me and my house, we're going to serve the Lord. He quoted Joshua. What Joshua said, he said, look, I don't give a damn what y'all gonna do. Me and my house gonna serve the Lord. And that's what Antiochus said. Not what Antiochus. That's what Mattathias said. Mattathias said, I don't give a damn what everybody else is doing. The scriptures say this: thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil. Don't follow the pack and they all doing it. Look, I don't give a damn what they're doing. They all want to follow Antiochus. I don't care. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, which is serve my God. That's a man's man. That's a hardcore, strong brother that has a strong spirit. Some people, man, brother, when I tell you, you offer them a couple $100, $200,000, a house with some, with a car, and you ain't even got to have. You can just sit. Some brothers.
You can seduce a nigga with $20.
I was gonna say you give a nigga a cheeseburger. He gonna fold. He gonna like, damn.
Not a cheeseburger.
Yeah, he
put some more pride in that.
A Five Guys cheeseburger. Can you said $20? That's
what
like
are we
close
trying
enough.
to get them to do? I don't know.
Well, I'm telling you, right? Well, I'm telling you is there's some people that will just fold. I don't give it. You can offer me the world. Guess what Christ did when Satan offered him the world? He cut him with scripture. He said, man don't live according to bread, right? Man, live according to every word that comes out of the mouth of God. So now that's what's going to govern my life. And Mattathias knew that. This is before Christ existed. He understood that we don't live according to what? Money? I don't care about money. I live like a poor man for the kingdom of heaven. Set up your treasures in the kingdom of heaven. That's what Christ taught us. Mattathias understood this, man. And he was an honorable brother. Honorable, man. That's you got to understand. There have been men that have been offered kingdoms to break the law of God. And they broke the law of God because they wanted the earthly kingdom. But then there's men like Mattathias who don't give a damn about an earthly kingdom. And we don't either. We don't care about what? Being a president in America. We don't care about we don't care about that. You know what we care about? We care about serving the kingdom of heaven that's to come. And we set up our treasures in the kingdom of heaven. And that's what Mattathias, he already understood that. Right?
That's
you
right. Nah, you got it. You hit it perfectly.
So let's read verse 21. Now let's start to get to the good part. We almost done, y'all. Let's get to the good part.
Verse 21. God forbid that we should forsake the law and the ordinance.
He said, God forbid that we will forsake the laws and order. It's not about what y'all forbid. It's about what our God forbids. We don't let you tell us what to do. You understand? You don't tell us how to serve our God. No, I serve my God the way I'm going to serve my God. And I'm going to look like a hate group. You're going to call me a hate group. You're going to say that I'm in a hate group. You're going to label me as anti-Semitic. You're going to label me as all these different things. But guess what? That's not going to stop me from serving my God. You're going to try to stop me from getting jobs. You're going to try to stop me from getting loans because you see that I'm involved in this so-called hate group. That's not what that got to do. I don't care about that. I have to follow what Mattathias said and what Christ said and what Moses said and what Joshua said. When they said all the same thing, I'm going to follow the Most High. Me and my house, we're going to follow the Most High. And there's nothing you could do to get me to stop doing that.
That's right.
Some of you said, Priest, is, they're going to try to stop you from getting a job, stop you from getting a loan, things like that. They're already doing that anyway.
Right, they're doing it anyway. Right.
I mean, what do you want? You want to go forward in what there are, or are you trying to go back and coon? Or what's a better word? I'm trying to get a synonym. Are you gonna try to get lighter? Or are you gonna that's not right. I can't do it. The water. Are you gonna placate? Or are you gonna stand on business?
You want to play by the white man's way. That's what you want to do.
I'd rather you stand on business, brother. Stand on business. Let them play their game, and we will play the Lord's game.
Right.
And we'll wait.
Oh yeah.
And by doing that, we will win.
And we are checking the Lord's game right now. Y'all ever played chess? Hey, it's check right now. It's check right now, and checkmate is right around the corner. We playing in the Lord's game.
Got the boys in a chokehold.
You understand? Hey man, look, and that's the point. We're gonna close out. I just gotta read verse 22 for me real quick, and then we're gonna read like a couple more verses just to understand this thing, and then we're gonna start the getting the food in.
First Maccabees chapter 2, verse 22.
Go ahead.
We will not hearken to the king's word.
We're not gonna listen to the king that tell us to leave our God. Keep going.
Hearken to the king's words, to go from our religion, either on the right hand or the left.
Hey, listen, and the word religion in this sense just means practice. What we practice, our culture. We're not leaving our culture for you. You white people that trying to tell us to what? Not keep the Sabbath? So you just want us to now. There's a spirit behind that. You just don't keep the Sabbath. Okay, that means you got to work on Saturdays now. Don't keep the dietary law. That means that you got to eat like an animal now because that's the way that everybody else eat. That's the way Moab eat. Moab just eat octopuses and bats and what's the thing that General Muhammad loves so much? What's that thing called?
Pangolin.
You're right. The pangolin. Y'all eating the pangolin.
Cute ass.
The cutest animal ever, according to General Muhammad. Y'all eating the goddamn pangolin, yo.
Yeah, like
you live like animals. But you want us to live like that too. You want us to forsake our God. Mattathiah is like, hell no, we're not doing that. We're not going to the left or to the right. Because also in the book of 2nd Ezra, it tells us that on the left or the right of that narrow path, you're going to drown to death or you're going to burn to death. Because you have to stay on that one path. And he's saying the same thing. So now let's read real quick. We're just going to, there's a million precepts. It's damn near for the Feast of Dedication to understand all of it. You got to just read the whole 1st and 2nd Maccabees. However, I understand that, time doesn't allow that. So we're going to read one more thing. Quick. Damn, okay, hold on real quick.
You got 8 days to do this, Not be rude.
All right, read what we started off with real quick again, and then we'll just close out. So read me 2nd Maccabees real quick. 1st Maccabees 4 and 52. 1st Maccabees 4 and 52. Or 50, read verse 56. That's the verse we'll read.
Chapter 2.
Chapter 4 and verse 56. So 1st Maccabees chapter 4 and verse 56.
Chapter 4, verse 56. And so they kept the dedication of the altar 8 days and offered burnt offering with gladness and sacrificed the sacrifice of deliverance and praise.
Just so y'all understand, and we're about to close out right now. We'll go through this, probably have the Sabbath service on it and all of that. We'll get all these things that happen in between this time. But Mattathias went to war. He got brothers that were like-minded that said, I'm not going to deal with the Greeks coming into my land and occupying my altar and temple and sacrificing swine's flesh. I'm not having it. So he said, I'm not having it. And he got brothers together and they went and they fought against these Greeks and they won. There's a lot that goes into that, but the ultimate thing is that they won, and they were not scared. You understand, of these people, and we can't be scared of our oppressor. That don't mean that we got to do what Mattathias did and go. We know that with Christ coming, we ain't got to go and pick up swords and break everybody into pieces right now. But what I'm telling you is we have to have the same spirit. We got to have the spirit of, I don't give a damn what you tell me to do. I'm not going to go against the law of my God. There's nothing that you're not gonna stop us from having these Sabbath services and these classes and holding camp on the streets. You're not gonna stop us from that. I don't give a damn if you flash a gun at us, shoot us, kill us. I don't give a damn.
Right.
You can't be afraid of death. You know why? Because you have to be more afraid of the Most High. You have to be afraid of the Most High so much that you don't care about dying by the hands of a man. You got to be afraid of the Most High and what he could do for you, what he could do to you. That's what you got to be afraid of. And once you start to get into that mindset, you don't care about somebody telling you what you can and can't do. We're on the SPLC. We're considered a terrorist hate group. Who gives a goddamn? We serving God up here. And Mattathias understood that. And guess what? He thrived. He succeeded. He defeated the Grecians. Him and his brothers that understood the same thing as him, that there is no power or might in those man's hands. If the Lord is with you, you're going to be able to defeat these goddamn heathens. And that's what's going to happen when Christ returns for us in America. You understand? We're going to defeat all of the people that had their foot on our necks. We're going to, the people that, fed our babies as alligator bait. Those same people are going to get destroyed at the hand of the Most High.
That's right.
You had anything else?
Yeah. I was going to just say that I don't have that much faith in y'all as Parak might have. And exclude all the men and women in this room. Parak said, you just gotta be, strong, stand firm, be willing to die about it. Y'all aren't even willing to make your children unhappy.
Yeah.
Y'all are going to celebrate. Y'all are going to celebrate Christmas for the kids.
Yeah.
You're gonna serve Satan for the kids. You're gonna do Halloween for the kids.
For the kids.
The Thanksgiving for the family. It's the only day we
get the
get.
family together. We don't
It's
got no
only
other
day
time
we
to get
get.
the family together.
I don't have enough. I don't have that much. I don't expect you to be Nat Turner or nobody.
Yeah.
Or nor Mattathias. I have little faith. I have little faith in you. I want you to get your weight up though. I want you to get your weight up. Let's start with baby steps. Let's start with what push-ups? What do you do? Is push-ups the first step? They might not can do push-ups. We're gonna give them a little let's start with this. Don't go to your company's Christmas party.
Yeah, you can start with that.
Well, are you willing to make those co-workers upset? They're not your babies. They're not your kids.
You didn't come to the Christmas party. I don't celebrate because nobody's willing to do that. Nobody's willing.
Don't even tell them. Just don't show up. You don't gotta make an excuse. You don't gotta make an excuse. Go ahead.
You better give that gift back.
Get a gift back. Give the gift. Hey, yo. Better donate that, John.
There was this brother. He tried to give me a shirt or something, right? He tried to give me a gift. I was like,
he said Merry Christmas. Yeah, that boy.
Because he already bought it and he wanted to give it to me. I was like, nah.
That was
you give it to somebody else.
That return it or something.
That was your Secret Santa? You got a Secret Santa?
I was like,
That's crazy. Secret Santa crazy.
I'm going crazy.
This brother's from Venezuela, so he just got here. He
want
to celebrate Christmas. You know what I'm saying? Because he doesn't have anybody here.
You broke his heart.
Like,
Let that nigga suffer.
He was really hurt.
Let that nigga suffer.
He was like, but I don't understand. Why don't you? Like, I'm gonna just keep it short and simple. You don't really gotta know why, but you know what I'm saying, religious reasons. That's it.
Right.
I don't have to explain why.
Yeah.
Before you do at least that.
Officer Matas are gonna start going into reason before he know it. He gonna be on a pulpit of wood at camp. 6 hours into the shift, and that's why the white man.
No, but what Barack is saying is true. You have to be willing to at least. It's tough. You got to know that Christ said that you're gonna be hated by many for His name's sake. So people gonna be when you say you don't celebrate Christmas.
Exactly.
Why not? They're gonna be like, what's wrong with you?
You're gonna have to get comfortable making people uncomfortable.
Right.
That's right.
And then you don't celebrate all of these other holidays. You don't do the things that you start to become totally. It's not. Don't happen all at once. Sometimes what happens is they'll look at you like, damn, you don't do this. That's kind of weird. And then like your birthday might come up and they try to wish you a happy birthday and you be like, no, I don't. It's okay. I don't celebrate that. You're like, what the fuck? And then
weirdo.
And then after that, then it's like everything about the truth comes out, not in the sense that you're teaching the class in front of them or anything, but just things just start to be apparent to them, and they start to be like, hey, this dude is a whole ass weirdo. Like he's different. He's totally different than like a regular person. And so you have to be comfortable with that because it's uncomfortable. You have to make it comfortable. You have to be like, nah, I rock my shield. Yeah, I rock this thing. It's a shield. So when they say, is that the start? No, yeah, it's the shield of David, Yeah. Are you Jewish? No, I'm a Jew. I'm not Jewish. It's things like that, little things like that you could just be regular with. The average, I'm talking to y'all now because I'm not talking to everybody that's gonna watch this. The average person can't do that. They're gonna be like, no, I just like it. I just think it's a cool symbol. They gonna or they gonna be like, you Jewish? Yeah, I'm Jewish. I'm like those guys. Oh yeah,
them niggas think they being wise as a serpent.
Yeah, nah, bro. You're disassociating yourself from your culture.
You just false claim.
There are times when you can be wise as a serpent. There's a way to do it, but some people that are not in the truth, that try to rock a shield of David or a Manorah or claim to celebrate Passover, they don't know how to do it because it's not comfortable for them,
right? And
so they don't do it. And so that's exactly what he's saying. Like, listen, you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable because your God has put you in the position of being uncomfortable, and that's all you got to do. Just be uncomfortable. Just Just be uncomfortable. Just
Be
accept
comfortable being
it.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, be comfortable being uncomfortable.
I don't like working out or
Imagine
or,
how much about our guys.
yo, got
Imagine
the
when-
star Molech.
Man, imagine somebody at our slavery
Quick
find us on
tidbit.
this-
Quick
on the-
tidbit.
yeah, you got it.
I got a Trinidadian
Yeah.
brother. I work with him on a slave. Of course, I'm just so ignorant. Like I just wear my die, just playing out middle of the day. I work.
As you should.
You know, a Trinidadian brother coming up to me, he's like, I see you, you know, we the Jews. I'm like, really? Tell me more. Nah, come on, bro. And he like, but that's the star Molech. That's the star Molech.
I done
like,
had that happen a couple times.
now I gotta go to class with this brother. Like, all right, brother.
I had a brother. I'm working with the brother, and he tell me that he like, yeah, you know, we the Jews, but that's the start. Like, I'm like, bro.
Point is, we're comfortable with making you people uncomfortable. We're comfortable with explaining these things, talking about these things, which you hide in your house. You hide in your happy little home, you know, kind of like I was saying that I made this little pose the sister be doing. You're acting like it, you know, but what you're gonna need to do with these little baby steps, like Officer Montes, I said, I'm gonna close it with this. This is it. You know what I mean? All I gotta say, return that Christmas gift. That'll show us how strong you. It'll show the Lord how strong you are. Return that Christmas gift. Start right there, brother. Yeah, you say you're an Israelite. Why'd you go shopping? Why'd you shop for your rib? She barely even respects you. She not submissive. She don't listen. She argumentative. But you went and bought her Chanel. Well, goddamn, what does she get if she does the right thing? Damn, what would she ever do the right thing? I get Chanel if I yell at you. Congratulations. But so start somewhere, brother. Increase your strength. That's all I got. It's on right.
Romans 1:16 say, I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Christ. Don't be ashamed of who you are. Be like Mattathias. That's what we really have to understand. Mattathias was bold. He was willing to stand on business. He stood on business.
That boy stood on business.
That
boy stood 10 toes. It was just like the video too. 1v50. That boy said, "Do what you gotta do." I'm standing on business.
And that's what we have to understand. And we have to be that way. The Feast of Dedication, just so we can close it out. We can close out right now. I know we said that like a lot of times. But the Feast of Dedication is the rededication of a temple that was profaned by our oppressors. Okay? We are rededicating. This is a memorial of the rededication of our temple and proof, living proof, that it don't matter what these people do to us. We're going to get our shit back. Excuse me.
That's right.
We're going to get our shit back.
That's right.
And ain't nobody going to stop us.
That's right.
I don't care if you're Alexander the Great.
That's
I don't care if you're Antiochus. I don't care who you are. You're not going to stop the children of Israel from claiming what's rightfully ours. And that's
Thus
what we
saith
do.
the Lord.
Thus saith the Lord.
Damn right.
And with that, we're going to close out. Let's give each other a courtesy salute. Men of Israel, I imagine. Imagine Shabbat. Imagine Barak.
Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatum.
Saw towards the sisters. Sisters, imagine, which means to stand. We're going to give the sisters a courtesy salute. Men of Israel, imagine Shabbat. Imagine Barak.
Yahushua Shem Yahushua.
Yajim Matzah, dismissed.